of OP Garage Racer. There is a myth that after 100,000 kilometers of mileage, N20 already loses all its resource, and after 200,000 kilometers, it is 100% dead. And we, to dispel this myth, have specially taken for you such a specimen. This is an F30 below market with an N20 engine with 200,000 kilometers of mileage. And we're going to do some test measurements here. We're also going to do some rival tests. We're also going to do some dyno measurements to see how much power is left, how much has gone and where, and what's wrong with it at this mileage. There's about 190,000 kilometers of mileage here. We're also going to do the stage 1 firmware. We're also going to do the races and the measurements. Then we'll put in a downpipe and you'll finally know already an answer to the favorite question of customers, what gives downpipe and what gives intercooler. You'll know how much power each of these components gives. Then we'll do a stage 2 firmware, and then we'll do something no one's ever done before. We'll put 350 horsepower into a stock engine, about 350 on gasoline or 400 on alcohol on a hybrid turbo. And we'll see when it burps. And anyone who's interested, subscribe to the Instagram, you'll be the first to know there. We're very interested too, it's just that someone says that after 300 horsepower it doesn't live at all. So we'll see how many will be at 350 and 400. And just think about it, we bought this car specifically for this project. To actually disprove those myths, or maybe confirm them. Imagine, no one has ever done this. This is unique content. I think it deserves a fat like and a subscription. So get your popcorn ready and we're off. In this series, we will try to dispel the myth that the engine is dead after 200,000 kilometers of mileage, and that at such a mileage, a lot of power has already run away somewhere. Because this N20 engine does not suffer from such a problem as scoring in the cylinders, unlike Nikola 63. It's a V8 4.4L with twin turbos. We didn't even look inside with an endoscope before we bought it, because the chance of finding something there is small, and if there are small lines, it doesn't mean anything at all. Then a few days later, we looked with an endoscope. We have such an endoscope with 2 cameras. They did not see anything critical there. Everything is normal. That is, as I thought, I was not even afraid when we took it at such a mileage that there would be something there. You can even see the horn in the cylinder sometimes. So, at that mileage, the conclusion is everything is normal. There is no critical damage inside the cylinders.
Third cylinder. Scuffing is also present. It's so small like this. Basically for whom the mileage is normal.
So there is already 1-0 in the score between us and the couch critics and creators of various myths. Let's move on. A cursory inspection of the engine did not reveal anything critical except for minor sweating of the oil pan. But it is not a reason to call N20 junk. Further, we decided to check the myth that horses with the age of the car, with mileage, run away somewhere. And to do that, we stopped by our friends at the dyno. We were there, by the way, to measure my M240. This is a company called Dark Horse. And now we're going to put in some video and measurements from that dyno. OP Garage Racer. We've gone to the Dark Horse dyno. We've measured my M240 before. Now we're going to test the power of a 328 four-wheel drive in a stock car. Did you set it up? Fuck, he rigged it, look. 240, 6 horsepower. It should be 245. You gotta see how much torque. It's already at 2800 RPM, maximum torque, and power at 5200 RPM. What, did you rig the dyno? Time to tweak the dyno to show factory results.
What's there to think about, I ask you? How much is in it?
Well, in order to... Oh, you loaded another one of those cars, huh? We did some measurements on the stock and they all came out higher than stock by 1 or 2 horsepower. So 246, 247 horsepower. So the second myth has been debunked, and you can go ahead and start staging. Usually at this mileage, there are issues with the wastegate. It's loose, and because of that, there can be unstable boost. They may be underinflated or overinflated somewhere. In our case, the horsepower numbers look okay. That's on the stock. So you can safely continue to make stages and see what the results will be and whether there will be a deviation from the expected result. Then we went to Borispol Highway with a passenger to make standard measurements. 0, 100 from 2 pedals, from 1 pedal, also 100, 200. Normally we'd get about 6.7 seconds in the 328 with 1 pedal with 2 passengers in the cabin. This is where we started, this is where we have 4-wheel drive. So it's a heavier car, about 50 pounds heavier, plus the loss of 4-wheel drive. We were getting the time down to 7 seconds. That's 7 seconds, 699 seconds. Here's the measurement. 1 pedal, 0, 100. How much?
699.
Then on the 2-pedal test, we're usually minus half a second. And there's no wheel spin. With 2 passengers, we've got 4-wheel drive here, obviously no bogey. We started off a couple of times. About the fastest time we got was 6.24 seconds. OPOP 0-100 with 2 pedals. Oh. Cheeks on the sport, the box on the sport. Fucking
6-2. Holy fuck.
Since this is our project and we have the opportunity to quietly go out alone a lot of times to test, I then drove out on my own and without a passenger measured the same time with 2 pedals 0-100. And I got almost a factory time. The factory time is something like 5.8, 5.9 seconds. I got a steady 5.97, 5.98 seconds, so it's less than 6 seconds. Another 0-100th measurement. Whoa. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, don't let me down. 597. Normal, steady, under 6 seconds. That is, the car showed almost factory results. Considering I've got some junk in the cabin, I wasn't too upset there. It's standard for this power, especially as there's no bump, it's all objective. With 2 pedals, you can start from about 2500, 2800 RPM. Also the measurements, 100, 200. We have a lot of measurements with other competitors with passengers. So you will see a lot more of this measurement. Usually 100, 200 with a passenger from 19.5 seconds to 20.5, even up to 21. But then, when I drove alone, that is, the usual measurement was from 19 and more seconds, even 18.8 seconds to 19.8 seconds approximately. That is quietly as we drive downhill. That is, there is a tricky road on the Borispol Highway. You can go uphill a little bit, you can go downhill. That is, the time turned out to be from 18.8 seconds to 20 seconds. That's with 1 person in the cabin. With 2 people in the cabin, about 19.5 seconds to 21 seconds. Let's try it. Whether or not we'll make it to the corner at 200 km/h is unclear. But we're gonna try it. Come on, 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 come on. Go, 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 go. Bingo. 18.8 seconds. Time turned out to be more than in the usual 328th rear wheel drive. And it is clear why. Because there are more losses due to all-wheel drive and also more mass. And now, let's familiarize you with the list of rivals that will oppose this car all the way to stage 4. And at some stage we plan to overtake them slowly. But for starters, the first car is a 535 rear-wheel drive on a downpipe on a stock car. Generally speaking, a 535 goes about the same as a 328, but if they're both rear-wheel drive. We've got this 4-wheel drive, it's heavier, we go slower. Plus the 535 has a downpipe, so it's got more power in theory. And plus there is a PWG Nicholas 55th with pneumatic Westgate, and there is a trick that when you shift at 5500 RPM, the car goes faster than in the automatic. That is, in the automatic we were better against it than when the owner was driving in the manual and shifting at 5500 RPM. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, suck it. Let's go, but we're not going to make it to 200.
We're up to 200.
Go, 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 go. 120. Going, going, going. What's the matter? What's the matter? Holy shit. I'm slowing down now. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Next up, the car that's expected to tear us is a 335 in a stock EWG stock, but it's got a high flow air filter and a downpipe. And on the dyno, it made 320 horsepower, and it's got Euro 2 firmware. And on the dyno, 320 horsepower and rear wheel drive, which means we're going to be ripped to shreds. No fucking way. I'll upload the boot mod now.
Is your cell phone in the way?
Yeah, you just did.
Where's he going? Well, quick.
Where's he going? Well, quick, quick, let's go. How many car bodies is this distance? 10 or 5. If the previous 535 we planned to bend already on stage 1, I wonder if we'll overtake her at what stage. The next car I think you've often seen in previous videos is a 535 stage 2, a regular customer of ours, a regular roll-on member. He's got an N55 PWG on stage 2. As expected, even in automatic, meaning the owner didn't shift gears at 5500 RPM, it overtook us easily. Even if we pull out a bit, it overtakes us very quickly. Plan to overtake her by about stage 2. The next competitor was a very similar car. It's a 328, but it's rear wheel drive. It's got stock firmware, it's got a catalytic converter, but it doesn't have a rear can, so it's sort of straight through. And it's got a zero air filter, zero resistance air filter, so it's got a bit more power than the stock rear wheel drive, plus it's rear wheel drive. And as expected, it tore us apart so well. We've got our next opponent for a reason. It's very powerful, very fast for us now. But in previous rivals, we plan to start overtaking quite quickly on the next stages. And this one, I don't know, maybe on stage 3 or even stage 4. And it's a 335 all-wheel drive on a stage 2. And it's a little bit faster than a normally 335 on a stage 2 because it's a little bit race prepared. And the owner races a lot of drag races. And roll-on, it's going pretty fast. And it would be interesting to overtake it in about a stage 3, maybe even a stage 4 even. .380 horsepower or so, stage 2, 4-wheel drive. Oh my god, like a poop, like a poop, like a poop. Yeah. These are our abusers. These are our abusers. I've been pooped on. Ope, ope. Hustle, hustle, hustle. As you've seen, it goes into space. There's about 370 to 380 horsepower versus our 245. But the funny thing is, it's 4-wheel drive too. Well, we hope to overtake it in the distant future. Next up is a rare BMW centenary anniversary car, a 330 B48 on stage 2. And then, as expected, she overtakes us quite quickly. Right when we overtake her. And the last contender, the 7th, it certainly looks like the first contender. It's an F10 535 rear-wheel drive, but without downpipes, just stock. The owner of this car was driving an automatic, no early shifts in the manual, and he drove about the same way as us, sometimes overtaking us. Well, I think rear-wheel drive is less of a loss. Ready? Come on.
Yeah, come on!
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Ah, well.
What the fuck? Watch it go steady. There's not much we can do about it. Fuck, we're driving with a sunroof? That sucks. This is the video we got. We have already dispelled a couple of myths on the example of this particular car. And in the next videos, we will deal with no less interesting questions. For example, how much gives stage 1 for 95 Aron fuel on this car in the stock, completely in the stock hardware? How much power the downpipe gives is a very often asked question. Some people think it doesn't give any, and some people think it does. Here we're going to find out how much power it made on a stage 1. And even on a stock car, we're going to measure the car on a stock car with a downpipe and compare it to the results we've gotten in this series. We will also find out who, from our brave 7 rivals, we can overtake on stage 1, on stock hardware, and on the downpipe. Also, there may be new rivals who will fight with us. We also announce a contest for those who will guess on what stage. That is, you need to write stage, approximate config, and on what power. Taking into account that the motor will be completely stock, i.e. we are not talking about stage 4 forged pistons and the like. At what power the motor will burst. The first 5 winners will get a free suspension test at one of our 12 BMW services. Or if you are in another city or in another country, we will send $10 each. So give us fat likes. For such a cool project, it's like a reality show, and we went on to inflate this BMW 3 Series.